For years, scratch that, for decades, the Minnesota Timberwolves have been an NBA afterthought, the type of team that exists to merely fill out the schedule. But that's all changed this season, because with a well-built, if unorthodox roster, the Timberwolves look every bit the contender that their record and place in the standings suggest they are. The Wolves are for real, and you should probably get used to it. In the most championship-exclusive of leagues, it can be hard to actually envision fresh faces being crowned. For those old enough to remember that the Warriors were a laughingstock for decades, it took a while to believe what we were seeing during Golden State's magical 2014-15 season, when the Dubs went from fringe contender at best to 67-win juggernaut. Few believed those Warriors were actually championship material, despite their rampage through the league that season. Then the team won what would be its first of 4 titles in 8 years. Now, I'm not suggesting the Timberwolves are anywhere near as good as those Warriors were, that they're about to kickstart a dynasty, or that they have a talent as revolutionary as Steph Curry. Heck, they're not even my pick to win the West this year. But this team is capable of winning a championship as presently constructed, even though you can't quite fathom the idea of Timberwolves jerseys on that stage with the Larry O'Brien Trophy come June.
Picture what I'm describing in your minds.
The Wolves have slowed down somewhat since their league best start, but they've spent 5 times as many days atop the West this season than they did over the previous 34 years combined. And they still check the boxes of a traditional contender. Through 35 games, Minnesota had the league's top-ranked defense, second-best record, and a top 5 point differential. After needing a year to acclimate to his new surroundings, Rudy Gobert has rounded back into form. The Stifle Tower is back to his old self and then some on the defensive end, and should be the mid-season favorite to claim his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award. The front court fit between Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns remains a work in progress on the offensive end, where the Wolves rank 19th in efficiency. But the bones of a championship offense are here.
Ant-Man is in the building.
For one, Anthony Edwards is already an undeniable superstar. The guy's averaging nearly 27 points and 5 assists while shooting 50% inside the arc, 39% from deep, and 85% from the free throw line, giving the Wolves a 3-level scorer plenty capable of serving as a championship-level shot creator. Ant's alpha status has also forced Towns into a secondary role he's better suited for, with Cat averaging nearly 22 points while flirting with a 50-40-90 season. There are well-founded concerns about Towns' propensity to shrink under the postseason spotlight, but that should be less of a concern as Minnesota's clear number 2. Towns still finds himself in trade rumors, but in theory, a hyper-efficient secondary option behind Edwards who can space the floor beside Gobert makes a ton of sense. Throw in Mike Conley's no-nonsense approach as a floor general and caretaker, who's also become an elite shooter, and there's no reason Minnesota's half-court offense can't excel in a playoff setting. Ant, Cat, and Gobert just need to cut down on their turnovers, which are keeping the team's efficiency down. Otherwise, when the Timberwolves hold on to the ball and actually get a shot off, Minnie ranks 9th in effective field goal percentage and 6th in true shooting percentage.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
In Jaden McDaniels, the Wolves also have the type of big wing stopper every contender needs. And they boast a solid bench that leaves the team at least 8 deep with playoff caliber rotation talent. A minor deal to add more depth could solidify things, but the major work needed to turn the Timberwolves into a true blue championship hopeful is already done. Which is good, because the Wolves are capped out for the foreseeable future and can't trade a first-round pick outright until 2031. But they're not quite stuck either. After going for it with a team capable of winning it all this spring, Minnesota could always pivot by turning Towns into multiple supporting pieces and picks to continue building around Edwards in the future. Plus, a new ownership group, which will soon have majority control of the team, has proven it's willing to spend to keep Minnesota swimming with the big boys. So don't expect the Wolves to fade back to irrelevance anytime soon. For now though, the focus is on 2024, because whether you believe it or not, the Timberwolves are built to win a championship. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.